If you're a dedicated deadlifter looking for your new trusty Excalibur in your home gym, look no further than the Rep Fitness Hades deadlift bar. This bar has a diameter of 27 millimeters, 15.7-inch loading sleeves, so you can really pack on some plates, and it's competitively priced. This barbell is designed to go toe-to-toe with the top deadlifting bars out there, but how does it actually stack up? Let's find out today. Let's get to it. What's good, everybody? It's Jake back in the BarBend garage gym, and for today's video, I've got the Rep Fitness Hades deadlift bar. In this video today, I'm going to tell you everything there is to know about this barbell. Specifically, we're going to talk about some money, we're talking about some pros and cons, and of course, who should or maybe should not purchase this barbell. Before I do that though, I got to let y'all know we've reviewed a ton of barbells on barbend.com, and we went ahead and made a best list of all of our top choices that are on the market. So if you want to check that out, just go ahead and Google BarBend, best barbells. That list is gonna pull right up for you. You can find out for yourself which ones we like the best. And honestly, you might be surprised which one cracks that #1 spot. Okay, so as the name suggests, the Hades deadlifting bar is in fact a dedicated deadlifting bar. And for those who aren't familiar with what a deadlifting bar is, well, you came to the right place because I'm going to tell you really quick. All right, so generally speaking, deadlifting bars typically have a thinner diameter than a power bar and multi-purpose bars. You're also going to notice more whip in the shaft, meaning there's going to be more flexion, especially as you're lifting in the 400-pound range and maybe even higher if you can pull that much. One more thing here is that you're also typically going to notice that the spacing between the knurling is also going to be spaced out further, and there's not going to be a center knurling. That way, you're avoiding, shredding up your shins as you're going to lift your weight. And you're going to notice all of these things with the Hades. All right, so starting with the diameter, this is 27 millimeters. It's going to really allow you to get a really solid grip as you go to get positioned for your lifts. And speaking of the grip, the knurling right here is a mountain style knurling. So each and every single one of these points right here on this cross-hatching pattern sticks up as a mountain would, and it's pretty aggressive, so it's really gonna allow you to get a really sticky grip, but it's not gonna be too abrasive to where it's leaving a bunch of indentions and causing your calluses, if you have them, to kind of rip open or maybe even create new ones. Honestly, it's really solid. As I mentioned, you are gonna notice more whip with this barbell. Probably not until you get around 400 pounds of weight, but that extra flexion is going to allow you to lift from a higher position and probably allow you to pull better, I guess you could say. It's priced at right around $370, which honestly is a pretty solid price tag considering the overall quality, especially since the fact that this is a Cerakote finish. Now you do have Duracoat loading sleeves, and I'll explain what that is in just a minute, but Cerakote offers a high level of protection, so honestly $370 it's a pretty solid deal. Now, that being said, not everybody has $370 that they can spend on a barbell that's only for deadlifting. This isn't a versatile bar. You can go and get plenty of other barbells. I mean, Rep Fitness has the Colorado bar, which is cheaper than this one, and you can hit any style lift that you want. And then plus, really the only other thing here is that it's not stainless steel. Stainless steel has the highest level of protection from corrosion. Cerakote is still really nice. Don't get it twisted. This is still, really solid. It's still gonna protect it for a long time. It's just not stainless steel. And then lastly, I just want to take 1 second and talk about the loading sleeves. This might not be a con for everybody, but if you're somebody who is in fact, really strong and lifting some, eye-popping weight, the loading sleeves measure 15.75 inches. Now, that is longer than, a lot of other dedicated deadlifting bars, but there's plenty of standard barbells that have a little bit longer of loading sleeves. And that's going to allow you to maybe tack on, one more weight plate. So that's just something you need to keep in mind. Okay, so once again, the Rep Fitness Hades deadlift bar is going to run you right around $370, and that's including shipping. Due to the fact that this, that is included and that this is a Cerakote barbell, I think that's a really solid price tag. Now, if you want to go down a cheaper route, another barbell that we're really high on is the Bells of Steel Bare Naked Powerlifting Bar 2.0. It's going to run you around $220, but big but with that one is that it is bare steel, which bare steel is known to rust, and it will rust on you. So you will have to take more precautions with it and clean it more frequently. And plus, it's gonna be better off if you have a climate-controlled room to kind of help prevent that a little bit. So that's kind of the kicker with that. It's just you're gonna have to take better care of a bare steel barbell. Let's expand a little bit on these comparisons. And with the Rogue Ohio deadlift bar, honestly, I think these bars are pretty much neck and neck. And on paper, that original price tag with the Ohio deadlift bar, they're the same price tag. But with Rogue, you do in fact have to pay for shipping, so it winds up being more expensive. And pretty much everybody's golden deadlift bar is the Texas Power deadlifting bar, right? Well, their Cerakote version is $440 including shipping. Yes, you have longer loading sleeves if you're somebody who's upper echelon, 99th percentile of deadlifters, that might be worth it for you, but that's still a significant jump in price right there. So all in all, $370 for this barbell, I think it's a really solid price tag. All right, so I just want to expand on the construction one more time, really quick with the Hades deadlift bar. Remember, this is a Cerakote bar, but the loading sleeves are Duracote. So for those who don't know, Rep is using this Duracote loading sleeve on all their new barbells right now. And basically this is just a chemical process that they're using on the loading sleeves to make them more tough and resilient. Now, that's a good thing. You definitely don't want things to be brittle and weak and stuff. But something I forgot to mention in the cons is actually that as you're loading and unloading your weight, you're gonna notice scratches, I guess you could call them, on your loading sleeves. Now what that is, it's because the loading sleeves are so tough that they're actually pulling material from the collars of the inside of your weight plates. Now, they mentioned on their website you can kind of wipe it off and those scratches will go away. I've tried that. It works to an extent, but over time those scratches are just kind of gonna be there and something you're gonna have to deal with. Now, it's not gonna cause the bar to deteriorate or anything like that. It's just not gonna be as aesthetically pleasing, I guess you could say. Now remember, with this bar, you do have a 27 millimeter diameter on the shaft right here. It's gonna allow you to get a really solid grip and just really get your hands completely around that barbell. And since this is thinner, it's gonna have more flexion under loads and allow you to lift from a higher position, especially as you're lifting eye-popping weight. Speaking of eye-popping weight, you can lift up to 1,500 pounds on this bar, and it has a tensile strength rating of 190,000 PSI, which for deadlifting, that is plenty strong. It's definitely gonna get the job done. And last thing I wanna talk about is the actual dimensions, all right? So this bar measures 91.7 inches in length with 15.75 inch loading sleeves. So the actual bar is longer than your typical barbell, but the loading sleeves are actually a little bit shorter than a lot of other barbells. One that comes to mind is the Rep Fitness Double Black Diamond, all right? So the shaft is longer and thinner, so it has more flexion, but with the Double Black Diamond, those loading sleeves are a little bit longer, so you can actually load more weight with that other barbell. All right, so I just want to show you all some stuff up close with the Hades. So I really like what Rep is doing with their end caps right here, metal end cap, and it just kind of has, adds to the, Greek mythology they're kind of using, especially with, some of the designs right here and everything. It's just pretty cool. You shouldn't really have to, take these loading sleeves off to clean them, but if you ever need to, there's a little snap ring right here. Get some snap ring pliers, just pop it out. You can take the sleeve off, wipe it down, all that stuff. Now, I don't know if you can really tell right now. I've already wiped it off as they, kind of tell you to do, but with this Duracote sleeve, since it's so tough, it's actually going to pull some material from the inside of your weight plates. And you might be able to see some scratches right here, but just get a rag, wipe it down. It takes a little bit of elbow grease, but it definitely helps you out. Now, these are smooth loading sleeves. There's not any type of grooved pattern right here. Typically with, barbells that feature that, it's going to help keep those weight plates in their original placement. It's not that big of a deal. You have weight collars anyways, definitely toss those on, it'll help you out. But one more thing here, I like how this tapers down and it makes it really easy for you to load and unload your plates. And plus, without having that grooved pattern, that kind of helps too. So as we move further in right here, you do have bronze bushings, and honestly, I was a little bit surprised by how much this loading sleeve spins. Same thing with the other one. It's not gonna, negatively affect you. Bronze bushings are designed to be used with, bars that are used for powerlifting movements, like this one right here. So that's just kind of the standard. Now, with the knurling, you'll notice you only have one set of knurl markings, IPF standard, it's hand placement and everything. But as far as the actual knurling goes, I'm a big fan of it. It's pretty sharp. It's a sharp mountain knurling. Remember, all these points stick up like a mountain. But since there's so many of them kind of bunched in together, they don't stand as tall as some other ones, it's not gonna really, tear up your hands. It feels pretty good at the end of the day. Now, you do not have any type of center knurling right here. I personally like that. You don't need that with this kind of bar. And since the actual knurling right here is spaced out further than, a lot of other barbells, not really with reps, but with a lot of other ones, that allows you to get your legs in between the knurling right here and prevent you from, kind of ripping up your shins. You definitely don't want that. Remember, the sleeves are Duracoat, as I mentioned, but the actual shaft is Cerakote, and that's the only coating that this bar is available in. Now, hang tight one quick second. I'm gonna go pull out another one of Rep's barbells and just kind of show you the difference in the dimensions. All right, so I went ahead and pulled out the double black diamond from Rep Fitness. This is their new flagship power bar. And as you can see, I'm assuming you can see, the Hades is longer overall. And that's because the actual shaft for both of these are different. All right, so I got my trusty tape measure. Let's go ahead and measure these out really quick. Start with the double black diamond. And this is right around 51 inches. As you can see, it's basically right there at 51 inches. Now, with the Hades, this is about 56, 55 and a half, about 55 and a half right there. So because of that extra length right here and the fact that it's thinner, remember this is 27 millimeters in diameter. With the double black diamond, it's 29 millimeters. Now, because this one's thinner and it's longer, you're gonna notice more whip. It's gonna be more flexible, especially as you're lifting with super heavy weight. Now, with the double black diamond, that extra thickness and the fact that it's shorter, it's gonna make it more rigid, more stiff overall. So, it kind of, obviously it depends what you're looking for, right? Now, so if you're looking for a dedicated deadlifting bar, you're definitely gonna wanna go after the Hades. Now, I think this barbell is ideal for anybody who's a dedicated deadlifter, or maybe you're a competitor and you're looking for a bar to practice with that meets the IPF standards, because this does. On the flip side though, if you're not a dedicated deadlifter and you don't really care for all of that, you can definitely go find yourself a normal powerlifting bar, because it's gonna be able to get the job done, or maybe even a multi-purpose bar that could be used across all your lifts in your home gym. All right, well, that's all I got for y'all today on the Rep Fitness Hades deadlifting bar. Now, this is obviously a niche barbell designed for one specific style of lifting, but if that's what you're looking for, I think this is a really solid option. It's competitively priced, and honestly, it's one of my favorite deadlifting bars on the market. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hope this video was really helpful, and I was able to break down everything you need to know about this barbell. As always, I say it all the time, I'm gonna say it again. Stay on the lookout for my next video, but for now, head over to barbend.com because we have a full written article about this barbell. All you gotta do is search BarBend Rep Fitness Hades deadlifting bar review. It's gonna pull right up for you. You can go over everything we talked about here today. I'll catch y'all next time.